And welcome back. It's the week of who would win. So we're starting off with a bigger one. Our big one. I don't know. I can't recall if anyone else gave me suggestions. It's the only one I could find. Lobo versus Sentry from Mr. Immortal. So this is very interesting in the sense that Sentry is one of. I heard I think I brought it up one time, but someone says, "Oh, come on, why do people call Sentry Marvel's Superman? Hyperion's very close to this. He doesn't have any of the same backstory." It's like that's not what they're referring to. He is a super-powered individual with many of the same, if not almost all of the same types of abilities that Superman has, plus his own, that wears a cape, flies around, and fights bad guys. Or, in some cases, Sentry good guys. He is a Superman clone. Okay? Maybe not in origin, but in function. Moving on. And that Lobo has... Anyway, it's a interesting conversation to have because Lobo obviously has dealt with Superman on an enormous number of occasions. He can actually go toe-to-toe in some incarnations of Lobo with Superman. That's how powerful Lobo is. Lobo being a Zarnian. I believe it's Zarnian, right? He has a unprecedented level of healing capabilities. He literally can regenerate himself from a drop of blood. In fact, regenerate multiple Lobos from every single drop of blood that gets spilled. He can survive past the point of his body being destroyed and survive as a soul and then just possess something and regrow his body. He is a genius. He is a master tactician. He is immensely powerful and once condensed an entire city down into a little ball and ate it. He once hooked Solaris, a living star, and swung him around on a chain. He can survive in a vacuum. He's the main man. He is completely and utterly messed up in all the best ways possible. Sentry. Now, Sentry's real name, though, is actually... Hold on. Sentry. His real name, not in Sentry Marvel. Sentry's real name is actually Robert Reynolds. And what essentially happened in most incarnations of Sentry, he got a version of the super soldier serum, and it gave him the power of 10,000 exploding suns as the, alias is for him. I believe that is nearly 1,000-fold isolated. I'm trying to remember exactly what the actual descriptor of his power is. The power of how many exploding suns? Let's see here. Serum. Various through most of his unknown. It's said that he's been said to have the power of 1 million exploding suns. Which, if that is the case, puts him well into the top tier of Marvel characters in terms of sheer power. Granted, he himself can't affect anything on a cosmic level, although he actually was able to confront an individual known as Molecule Man, whose ability is molecular manipulation on a universal level, and actually had molecular manipulation on par with him. Granted, his ability to manipulate molecules is not one of the abilities he is most practiced in, but it's still the fact that he can go toe-to-toe with a universal level, basically a reality warper, molecular manipulator. He is basically immortal. He's functionally immortal. He can, even though he can die and has been killed, he's come back multiple times. His super strength is among the strongest beings in the universe, going toe-to-toe with individuals like Terrax, whose cosmic axe taking his cosmic axe, which can, go toe-to-toe with individuals like Galactus and shattering it with his bare hands, moved a cruise liner effortlessly, unrestrained power overloaded by the absorbing man. He was able to even break the Hulk's limbs with ease. The Hulk, who had been raging out for God knows how long. Sentry himself, he was able to easily kill Ares by ripping him in half, similar to what he did with Carnage. He can also absorb solar radiation for additional strength, very similar to Superman, although that's not something he needs to do. Super speed, he can move at light speeds. He's 9 invulnerable. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. could not actually find a weakness on this guy. If you give me 1 second, alright. Just getting a notification about something for later. Superhuman reflexes, senses, flight, teleportation, photokinesis. It may be theorized that he has the ability to generate and control and emit light, which makes sense as we've seen light projections, hard light constructs, energy blasts, make himself invisible by manipulating light and radiated emissions. Darkness manipulation. After merging with the Void, he gained the Void's darkness manipulation, psionic abilities on par with someone like Professor X, which is nuts. Biokinesis, the ability to basically control the effect biophysics with ease. An example of this, once used this power to cure his therapist's daughter of a vegetative state and spinal problems, seemingly by just being in the same room as her, while the Void bestowed a young, unwed mother with incurable breast cancer and disease from the state. It's why he's able to resurrect himself basically all the time and have a healing factor. He's able to power sharing. It's probably why he was able to basically nullify Rogue's her mutation, because they had a actual relationship for a while. And he's able to absorb radiation, energy absorption. He's got a genius level intellect. However, he also has a wide range of weaknesses, including psychic assault. Lobo can't do anything against that. He has a fragile psyche. The negative zone. The Sentry at his weakest is at his weakest in the negative zone. His powers and health gradually deteriorate, and the longer he is inside the zone itself, and even worse, his counterpart Nemesis the Void increases to its maximum. However, in this new state, while merged with the Void, he is able to retain his superpowers in the negative zone without weakening at all. Lack of control. He doesn't seem to have complete control over all of his abilities, as I mentioned with the molecular manipulation. And he's apparently vulnerable to chi. Spiritual-based energy checks, such as chi, have been shown capable of injuring Sentry, especially when inflicted by someone powerful, aka someone like the Iron Fist. Now, he used to have a mental illness, and apparently he no longer has the issue of dealing with the Void. He's merged with the Void. That said, if we were to use Sentry at his most... If we were to still run the risk of the Void coming into play here, that would be something we could do. Either way, it doesn't sound like this is a fight Lobo can really win, because not only is this guy have a strength level on par with someone like Superman who can take the Sentry, he's also got a genius level intellect and has a number of abilities that Superman does not have, including biokinesis, controlling biology. In theory, he could actually shut down Lobo's regenerative capabilities. Darkness manipulation, if you're including him merged with the Void. Photokinesis, light projections, which basically substitute for like Superman's heat vision. Teleportation, Superman that only has super speed, not teleportation. Molecular manipulation. Molecular manipulation and biokinesis are the two big ones here that Lobo has nothing to protect himself against. The other ones he can maybe muscle through to some degree, getting hit by energy blasts, all that. But biokinesis, controlling his own getting his own biology controlled, and molecular manipulation, Lobo's got nothing to deal with this at all. So these two are going to duke it out. And Lobo will probably be able to trade blows them. He's someone who's got a strength level who could actually hurt the Sentry, I believe, but not to a level that he poses an actual significant threat to the Sentry. So these two duke it out. Lobo maybe fires off some shots. They do nothing. Lobo and him take it toe-to-toe. They duke it out for a while before Sentry finally just gets annoyed and ultimately just tears them apart. Lobo starts to regenerate. He sees this and just stops it and is like, wait, what the frag? And Sentry just looks at him and just power of exploding 10 million, power of, was it 10 million exploding suns, was it? And this is why I actually argue Sentry is much more powerful than Superman. A power of 1 million exploding suns. Because while Superman can survive several exploding suns, hell, he's tanked going through a couple of red suns before. He's never had to deal with 1 million of them exploding in his face. So that's why I always argue Sentry is actually probably more powerful than Superman. Either way, though. Sentry ultimately would be the winner in this match. I think even if you don't have him merge with Sentry, a Void, and have the Void still as a separate entity that can rear his ugly head, I still think Sentry is just a being who's way beyond in terms of what he can do so for Lobo to handle. So, well, man, my grammar in my... I am stuttering a little bit. I'm now noticing. I don't know what it's been lately. My diction and my grammar and my speech patterns have been a little taxed. Maybe it's just, I've been really busy at work for the last month or so maybe I am just a little burnt out. But anyway, yeah, I do think Sentry is just a being who's capabilities are beyond what Lobo is capable of handling. So my money would be on Sentry, but that's just my opinion. What do you think? You think it would be Sentry? You think it'd be Lobo? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. See you later.